All right, looks like we're recording. So I am here with competitive shooter and firearms instructor Tyler Tharp, who just so happened to have taught the one of the best red dot classes that I have ever personally gone to. Tyler, how you doing today?
Man, doing great. It's a beautiful Thursday.
Man, I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. So that class, it was in Vicksburg, dude, and
Hmm. My
you
hometown.
had Stony Steele there as well.
Hmm.
He was helping out.
Yeah,
Um,
co-instructing. Yep.
Yeah, like how long have you been putting on red dot classes and classes as far as like uh performance skill shooting?
Well, on my own, only about 3 years now. Defensive pistol, performance carbine, performance pistol, two gun, and the typical enhanced carry class in Mississippi. You don't have to have a class to have a regular permit, but you do have to have it to have the enhanced endorsement, which just alleviates a bunch of the restrictions off of a regular permit. Anyway, I've done those since 2016, and then I got into the more performance and defensive stuff after I felt like I had learned enough from my mentor Rodney May about 3 years ago. And then Stony, it was about the same time I met Stony Steele actually, and then me and him dreamed up that red dot class and have been trying to mold it and perfect it. Which, let's be honest, we're the worst critics of our own work, type of thing. So it'll always never be good enough. It seems like to us. So constantly molding it and all that. And yeah, you actually took the last 1 day version of that class that'll ever be taught. That class was the final straw that broke the camel's back that made Stony and I realize we have to make this a 2 day class moving forward. Just because there's so much, and we left so much meat on the bone that it feels like a disservice to the student to not turn it into a 2 day class and really dive deeper into the concepts that we bring to the table.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. So you also teach Mississippi Enhanced Permit.
Hmm.
So in Tennessee, I teach the Tennessee Enhanced Permit, and in the state of Tennessee, the Department of Safety and Homeland Security, they give instructors a a slideshow and basically a rubric of the stuff that we have to cover, and we have to cover that. We get audited on that.
Mm.
So, how similar or different is it from Mississippi?
Yeah, so not all that different. So our Department of Public Safety is who governs these classes, and they you have so once you get your NRA basic pistol or USCCA basic pistol certificate instructor certification, you have to go apply with DPS, and then go through their whole application thing. Go see the head of whoever it is. Right now it's Stephen Hughes. Before then it was someone else. It's not an elected, it's more like an appointed, you get hired up to position type of thing, and this person oversees all that. And so in Mississippi, all you have to do is teach 4 hours classroom, 4 hours on the range. 1 hour of the classroom has to be on Mississippi law. We have a supplemental video that was made by Stephen Sambalia. He's a nationally accredited gun rights lawyer, and he's from Madison, Mississippi, not far from where I'm sitting right now. Anyway, so we utilize that for the hour long, and then they don't even tell us here in Mississippi. They don't even tell us what we are supposed to shoot. They do say we can't let them draw from the holster, our students, that is, because that's quote unquote too advanced of a skill.
Yeah.
We can't let them drop. So the students literally have to bring their gun in a bucket with their gun in one side and their ammo in the other to the firing line. And yeah, it's a like a little cleaning tote bucket thing that you see maids use type of thing. Yeah, that. So they bring that up to the firing line, and yeah. So
Oh
no
wow.
drawing, no firing from the draw or anything like that. And
Okay.
so yeah, our just as long as you're using the NRA or USCCA curriculum and you're doing 1 hour of the law, you're good to go here.
Huh. Wow. That's different. Um.
Very.
Yeah. So I might be, this might be a little bit of sausage making, right? A little bit of inside baseball, but
Yeah.
what we do at our range, and I'm not sure how commonplace is this, but we'll take we'll take their guns from them at the beginning of class, and when it comes time for them to shoot, we'll have them sitting there.
Hmm.
That way they don't have to handle them. Um, and then also if we have we also have stuff that they could rent as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the facility that I help with has rental guns on. Actually, I'm helping them do an enhanced carry class this Saturday coming up. They got 19 people in the class, so and then I got a private enhanced carry class coming up in 2 weeks. So yeah, pack January. Not this weekend, but the weekend after. I'm AIing for Mark Smith actually here in Mississippi for a law enforcement only 2-day class. And Lord have mercy, let's see, we got Tim Herring in February, and I have another class at the end of January, and I don't even remember what it is. So we're gonna be booked up.
So where is that? What range is that going to be at?
Which one?
The so you teach, and then also there's Mark Smith,
Mm-hmm.
and there's Tim Herron. Like, what
Yeah.
ranges are those going to happen at?
Oh, so the Mark Smith one is a law enforcement only private course down in Lucedale, Mississippi.
Hmm.
It's it just on their department's range, and then Tim Herring is going to be at the Hobbs Shaw Island shooting facility in North Alabama, outside of Huntsville.
Oh, okay.
Yep, same place we had Riley Bowman come in last year. Ethan Vaughn is the host for that. He does an amazing job hosting instructors.
Awesome, awesome. And also, you teach. What was it? I think you do some work at Boondocks, right?
Yeah, Boondocks Firearms Training Academy here in Raymond, Mississippi. It's about 45 minutes south of where I live. It's an all-inclusive pistol and shotgun range, minus the skeet throwers. We're working on adding those, but rentals, pro shop, classrooms, just covered in lit ranges with fans, a shoot house, competition bays, all kinds of stuff. It's a really good place.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous place. Cool, cool. Yeah. So, how did you get into all this? Like, you're shooting matches, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
helping out with matches. You're a
Yeah.
chief range officer for USCCA. I'm sorry. No, wait. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't believe I made that mistake.
ROI.
Yeah, yeah. And that's for USPSA matches.
And IPSC as well.
And FPSC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that include 3-gun or multi-gun?
So USPSA does have a multi-gun division, and you can get, so to be a RO CRO for multi-gun, you just have to add that to your certification and take an additional test on your yearly testing. I don't have that because that's not around. There's nowhere for that around here. I've helped with the multi-gun, like I helped with the multi-gun nationals in Vegas back in 2011, just as a roustabout helper type of person. But no, I haven't added that endorsement on mine.
Okay. How did you get into all this? Like, when did you start shooting? How'd you get into it?
Well, I've always liked teaching. I was a math tutor for 6 years in high school and college. Did a small time in the Army as an MP, nothing noteworthy, no deployments or anything. But right after I got discharged, I was discharged on a Friday, got home on a Saturday. My dad died that night, so Sunday morning at 3 a.m. So whole life flipped upside down basically for me and my mom. And so to keep her mind off of it, she just kind of fell face first into shooting competition. She was a law enforcement officer as well. She was an MBN agent as well, state agent for Bureau of Narcotics. Anyway, so yeah, she just started shooting competitions as a way to keep busy. And she rapidly became a RO and then a CRO and then eventually our state coordinator for USPSA. And then she was also our state's first well-armed woman instructor. She actually wrote her own curriculum for the enhanced carry here in the state and got it approved. So hers was one of the extreme few out there that's approved outside the NRA and USCCA. That was back when, you remember when the NRA was doing that weird nonsense where you had to like go online for a class and then go find somewhere to shoot type. Yeah, that whole thing caused a big stink. And she's like, I don't want to deal with all that nonsense. She'd already had her NRA instructor certification. She's like, nah, I don't like that. So she did her own thing and got approved. So naturally, so the first, 10 years of my life or 9 years, it was just me and my mom. The guy, my dad was my stepdad actually. Anyway, so the first 9 years, my mom and I were glued to the hips. I did everything she did, from getting up at 2:00 in the morning to go run a paper route, and working at gas stations at night, to even going and sitting in class with her at night classes at Mississippi College and Hines and things like that. But anyway, so anything she did, I did, and vice versa. And so I just, when I was at I wasn't at work because I was working offshore and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Typical 20-year-old kid trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life, to going and doing everything. So, in the middle of trying to do everything and figure out who I was also shooting with her when I could, and got okay at it. Of course, a 22-year-old kid probably thinks he's better than he is, which that was the case for me. I definitely thought I was better than what I was. Looking back, I was just a big old dummy. But anyway, so fast forward 2016, got my first USCCA certification with Cliff Cargill. God bless his soul. He passed away actually at a USCCA conference in Wisconsin, I believe it was a few years ago. So, and the rest is history. Amongst falling into the shooting community, my mom met a guy named Rodney May back in, I want to say 2012 or something. Anyway, they started dating and eventually got married. And for those who don't know, Rodney May has been a firearms instructor since 2001, I believe. Started at Mid-South Shooting Institute and has trained every alphabet soup agency and notable mill group known to man, it seems like. And then he's also a grandmaster. He was on the original gray shirt Team Sig with Tim Herron, believe it or not, way back in the day. Him and so Rodney and Max Michelle actually were close teammates and practiced together a lot. Max Michelle is actually not that far from me. He's if you go south, just direct south from where I'm sitting, 3 hours, you'll land at Max Michelle's range. I've actually taught a 2-gun class down there before. But anyway, that was a long way around of saying how I got here and how I got started. Mostly my mom.
Yeah, your mom, Betty Wilson, right?
Yep. That's her.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
she's a great person.
Me and her just went on the radio a couple weeks ago, and it aired yesterday. It was a pre-recording type of deal. Basically the same thing, how we got started and what makes us so passionate about all this. So it was a good time.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome stuff. Yeah. So let's see. So as far as shooting matches goes, right? One thing that personally helped me back from shooting matches a little bit earlier in my development was that I had this mentality of, I just want to be able to carry my gun. I, didn't really need to be a grandmaster or anything like that. I didn't need that level of skill. I just want to be able to carry.
Yeah.
Like, if you had to go back in time and talk to that version of Memphis, like, what would you say to me?
Can I curse?
Mildly? Sure.
I would tell you the same thing I'd tell myself if I could go back 10 years. Stop half-assing it. If you're going to do it, if you're going to make the decision to actually go do it, give it your all. Imagine how much better you'd be now if you actually went in there with the idea of, you know what, I'm going to do what it takes to be the best there ever was. Who knows who Memphis, Memphis Beech might be so big he wouldn't even know who Tyler Tharp is today.
Oh man, I think what finally got me into it was there weren't any places around here to train, and I wanted to get better. So, all the guys that were getting better, they were shooting matches.
Mm-hmm.
All the people I was looking up to, like, they were shooting matches, like even the greats, right? Like Masada Ayub and Tom Givens, like they shoot matches. So,
yeah. So the one and only TGO, the great one, Rob Latham himself, the most winningest shooter on the planet. Like that's his meat and potatoes. Winning matches. That's just what he does.
Yeah. So there's this trap that I see a lot of folks fall into. And I see it time and time again. What happens is someone gets into a match or they start, they make the decision, hey, I'm going to shoot USPSA or I'm going to shoot IDPA. And so they go out and they buy all the things, like all of them, $250 belt, like mag carriers that cost like $45 a piece.
The double alpha racers.
Yep. They get a Staccato XC with the SRO, all the things, right? And 6 months later, they're selling it all for half the price.
Yeah.
So
good. That means I get a deal.
So what kind of advice can you offer to the guy that's just starting out, might be IDPA or USPSA curious?
Mm-hmm.
Like, might be getting ready to go to his first match. What do you think?
Keep it simple. Like the rule I try to live by, man. Don't overcomplicate it. Go with the mindset of knowing, hey, I'm not going to place anywhere notable. I just want to be safe and have fun. Watch what other people are doing. If there's a guy there wearing a jersey, watch what he's doing. He may be a butthead or something. Who knows? But I promise you, he's got a jersey for a reason, type of thing. And so, or seek out, the Facebook pages and things like that. Look for, just put a post out there saying, hey, I'm new at this. Would anybody mind, quote unquote, holding my hand for my first match? Dude, I bet you there's going to be 10 people jumping at the bits to loan you gear, guns, ammo, everything you need for your first match. Like we'll coach you through everything you're not supposed to, but at level 1's on your first ever match, we're not going to let you do anything dumb or anything like that. So we'll coach you through it, and you'll have a good time. So be humble and keep it simple.
Right on, man. Right on. So let's say I do go to my first match. Like, what do you think? What do you think I should be able to bring? Like, what kind of gear should I bring? What should I have with me?
Gun, 3 mags, a way of holding those mags on your belt, a way of holding that gun on your belt in a safe fashion. Floppy leather holsters are not safe. Those Uncle Mike's that Walmart and Academy sells, those are not safe either. So a good serviceable holster, 3 mags on your belt, and about 120 rounds of ammo. That'll give you enough for one makeup stage if you need to. Just go ahead. If you have an optic on it, just sign up for open. If you don't have an optic on it, sign up for limited. That way you can just load your mags all the way to full capacity and not have to worry about 15 reloads like production and single stack has to do. And I would say you're not there to win anything. You probably don't even have a classification yet. So just limited or open, so that way you can use all the rounds in the mag and have fun.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Man, good stuff. Good stuff. So let's see. So you've been doing a lot of training yourself as well, like not just matches, but let's see. Or maybe we should stick with matches just for a little bit, just to talk about like what kind of matches you've been to in the area.
Yeah.
Maybe like, so what are the different levels, right?
Yeah. Level 1 is your local match. 5-6 stages at the most. And you'll have like 1 classifier. And then level 2 is going to be like your state matches. And then level 3s are going to be your, level 2 could also be a sectional match. So they're not always called a state match. They could also be called a sectional match. Don't ask me why they have one name or the other. I don't know. And level 3s are going to be your area matches. There's 6 or 8 areas in USPSA. That tells you how much I'm in tune with competition shooting. I literally just go to have fun, man. And then you got nationals, of course. So I've done, a few handfuls of local matches just because they're right down the road. Why not? I've done a few state level matches. I've helped RO and CRO those again because they're 30 minutes down the road. So why not? I want to see the sport grow. I want to help people. I fully believe in being a steward of my sport. So, but I've never been in an area match, never been in a national match. Been to Louisiana state match twice. But outside of that, I've done a few 2-gun matches. I have traveled for those 2-gun matches. The one in Meridian, Mississippi, I've won all the ones over there, high overall. And then the one down in Florida, I've always been top 10. The 5 or 6 ones I've done down there at Altus used to be called Core. It's actually a shirt that I have on. And then the latest one was a few weeks ago. I was down there with Stony. And then I got 6th overall on that one out of, 50, 60 shooters. But it is a pretty good size match where you're shooting long range with a rifle and then fast, fun stuff with a pistol. So did you see the video of the where we had to shoot the robot from the floating platform?
That thing was legit.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Yeah. That floating platform where you got 4 arms with floating chains and a wooden platform. Me and Rodney built that actually. Rodney, my mom, made Core sort of what it is now. It's now called Altus, of course. They got in some stupid name battle with some podunk AR put together down in Florida. So anyway, yeah. So we run down this hill after shooting long range with a rifle, and then as soon as you jump up on this platform, you grab your pistol and your mag off your belt, load it, and while you're doing that, this guy with a little RC controller lights up this little four-wheeled cart robot thing that drives around, and on it is a steel 2/3 IPSC, and it's driving back and forth at a weird angle, like a 45-degree type of angle thing, and you have to hit it 10 times to quote unquote disable it. So, and he'll count them out. So, I watched Stoney do it, and Stoney was real methodical. Ding, 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 ding. And, it does typical 10 rounds. He doesn't miss. I swear to God, he's just half a robot. And then I do it typical Tyler style, just wild and crazy. Jump up on the platform looking like I'm about to fly off of it, load and make ready, and just send, I think, 10 or 12 at this thing as fast as I can rip the trigger. And I counted 10. I looked at him. He's like, "Oh yeah, that was 10." Ended up having like the second fastest time on that stage, but it was a lot of fun. A ton of fun. So that's the kind of fun that you'll get at some of these wild, crazy 2-gun matches and stuff. You're not going to be shooting robots and whatnot at USPSA or IPSC matches, but you go to some of these crazy outlaw 2-gun matches at these PRS ranges, and there ain't no telling what you'll find. It's always a good time.
Man. That sounds like an absolute blast. I saw the video. It was fun to watch. Oh, man.
It was fun to do.
You came down that hill, and it was like full send.
It's a miracle. Look, it was a 50-50 chance whether or not I was going to just eat the dirt face plant right into on the bottom of that hill. But I don't, man, good Lord, God had his hand on me or something, kept me from falling and eating dirt off that tall hill. That thing was steep too, man. Some people actually went around to, play it safe type of thing. I was like, got to go for it.
Oh, man. That is so awesome. That's so awesome, dude. Yeah. So let's see. So I remember back in that class, that red dot class that I took, it was in Vicksburg. It was in 2022. Let's see. So there was another instructor there, Stony Steele.
Yep.
Part of Synergy Shooting Solutions.
Yep, the great Stony Steele.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about Stony. Like, how did you guys meet?
Man, so just like me, actually, believe it or not, Stony is an old school gearhead. He loves tinkering on bikes and trucks and stuff. And I was a gearhead long before I was a gun nut. I did diesel mechanics as a teenager type of thing. I built my first engine at 17, or rebuilt it. Obviously didn't build it from the ground up, rebuilt it. He's just a regular Joe, man. Works offshore. He's the head honcho of maintenance on the biggest oil rig BP has. I can't remember the name of it. Thunder Horse, I think. Anyway, so he's very smart and that type of stuff. He also coaches T-ball and things like that with his kids. So he's just, man, he's a family guy. He's just a good old country boy that fixes things for a living on oil rigs. His wife's awesome. His kids are cool, man. They're just good old people. And they live out in the middle of freaking nowhere, Mississippi. I think it's called Empower, Mississippi, or something like that, outside of Macomb. I can't even remember the name of the daggum town, but it's population 10. So me and him met a few years ago at the local match that I always go shoot in Byron, Mississippi. Because like I said, it's right down the road. It's easy. And, man, we just hit it off. He was like, I was like, man, you're a cool dude. I like to hang out with you more. He's like, yeah, you're a cool dude. I like to hang out with you more. So, yeah, not long after I created Synergy and actually started getting everybody matching shirts, nothing special, just moisture wicking t-shirts with Synergy on it. So that's kind of cool. And I was like, man, Stoney, I'd love for you to be on the team. I don't know what this looks like. I just know that you're a good dude, and we like to have fun. What do you think? He's like, heck yeah, man. He believes in what I do. He's taken some classes from me and whatnot, and man, the rest is history. We've snowballed from there. We talk almost every day. His wife says we have a bromance, so I almost feel bad whenever he's spending time with me on his off. He works 2 and 2, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. I feel guilty sometimes when he's spending time with me and not his kids and wife. But yeah, and she shoots too. She shoots Steel Challenge amazingly. She's got a bunch of TACCON stuff, kind of sponsored by them, and she's about to get into USPSA shooting as well. So just good old people, man.
Man, that's awesome. That's so awesome. Yeah. So I keep talking about the red dot class that that Synergy Shooting Solutions put on. And tell me a little bit more about some of the training that not just you offer, but some of the stuff you went to.
So like all the classes I've taken in my past?
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Man, so I would say 75%.
You don't have to talk about everything.
Yeah, 75% of what I've known in my experience was mentoring under Rodney May. Everything from performance shooting at USPSA, like I said, he's a grandmaster, all the way to teaching law enforcement and SWAT teams and things like that, fully kitted out, and everything in between. Everything except for precision rifle. Well, actually, I can kind of take that back. He didn't teach me, but we kind of learned together. He was actually with me the day I shot that 1 mile shot off the roof of my truck down in Florida. Same place, Altus. Well, I'd say it's a mile, 1,600 meters, just shy of a mile by like 60 meters. Anyway, sent 5 in Iron Maiden with my my personally built AR-10 that I did all myself, and landed 5. So anyway, learned just about everything from him. I've taken a couple of Frank Proctor classes, Riley Bowman class. I went through the ASPIC program with you, and that was a great program. And then I'll be honest with you, I watch what a lot of people are doing and just go try it. So especially at matches, people that don't even realize I'm watching their every move because they're crushing it. I'm literally watching their every move and trying to emulate it and practice it on my own. So yeah, between I'd say 25% self-taught, 75%, or almost 75% under Rodney May, and what remaining under everyone else. Riley did a great job changing the way I think about shooting. Dude, if y'all get a chance to take a Riley Bowman class, Pistol IQ, I'm a nerd at heart. And then, so I really appreciated his outlook at it. And since then we've read those books, and it kept on building from there, how we actually think about our progression in shooting, and then how do we view mistakes, and then just the whole mental aspect of it was amazing.
I'm glad you brought that up, because one thing that made your class, the Synergy Shooting Solutions Red Dot Optics class, one thing that made it really unique was all the cognitive things, like all of the internal monologue, the what you should be seeing,
Mm-hmm.
what you should be looking for, feeling, all the mental game. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about that?
So, I mean, what's that phrase John uses? Kleptomnesia. He's stealing things while he can't sleep. Yeah, kleptomnesia. So you steal stuff from people and you forget even who you stole it from. I didn't invent none of that stuff. Lenny Basham has that with Winning in Mind book from, he was an Olympic shooter in the 80s. So, I mean, I wasn't even born in the 80s. I was born in the 90s, so I wouldn't even thought about it. None of this is new. I'm just trying to interpret it, apply it, proof it out, which, I mean, I know it's already proof because Lenny obviously proved it being an Olympic champion. I don't know how many times. But I like to convey it in my own words to hopefully it rings true in everyone else. And it works as far as my own practice of it. Not beating myself up. Who was it that said, why do you talk to yourself worse than you talk to your friends?
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
I can't really identify who exactly said it.
It may have been Riley, but man, that really, because I beat myself up on every little mistake I make. You dummy, you should have not done that. You pulled the trigger too soon or too late. Or you drug the sights off and still pulled it. You big dummy. You should have just had a little bit more patience. You impatient dummy. That's so. Add in a few slang words there and a little bit more vulgar attitude, and that's how I talk to myself, or at least I did. until Riley came along and changed my mind. And then I read those books, and it really locked in. And I've had such great success with that little bit of mind change that I want to give that back to my students as well. And just like here, I'll never claim that stuff as my own. I'm just passing it along from what I've learned. But yeah, be kind to yourself.
Yeah. I'm a big reader. Like, what kind of books do you recommend to folks that are, thinking about wanting to shoot better?
Oh man, so I'm not a great reader. I actually despise reading. I have such a short attention span. Like, it takes me 2.5. I timed it. It takes me 2.5 minutes to read one page. Like, I'm so slow at reading. It makes me mad because I have to read slowly and understand every minute detail. There's some people that can scan through books and get the whole message. I can't do that. Anyway, with Winning in Mind is going to be a great one. Let's see, the Ben Steger's books. If you really want to get into shooting and you want to understand the analytics behind it, get into some of Ben Steger's books. He just had a new one come out, the carbine one. I don't know anything about it. I mean, I imagine it's great. For those who don't know, Ben Steger's a world champion. And he's, as far as competitive shooting and practical shooting and really understanding the nuances of every little bit of shooting everything, as far as pistols go, at least, I would say Ben is the best diagnostics, whatever you want to call it, best diagnostic person coach there is on the planet for that. So read whatever he puts out, obviously. And then I would take recommendations from you, because I've seen your book collection and it is impressive. You probably have more books than I do ammo.
Yeah, me and my wife, we're both avid readers. Yeah. So, but yeah, what was it? So Ben Steger and Joel Park, dude, they have they have a phenomenal collection of books. Like,
yeah, like Dry Fire Reloaded and
Dry Fire Reload is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I got.
What was it? Practical shooting training, or that might be close to it.
Something like that.
It's
I got a
white
Steve Anderson. I got a Steve Anderson book here. I'm about to start cracking open as well. It's Refinement and Repetition, Dry Fire Drills for Dramatic Improvement.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So yeah. I swear, I think Stoney gave me a Steger book. I gotta find it. Hoping I lose it.
I'm sure it's around here somewhere.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Let's see. All righty. So we're almost there. Just about to wrap it up. Let's see. Tyler, for those, let's get into the mindset of those that they may have just picked up their first gun. They might be new to gun ownership. They might be new to concealed carrying. What kind of guidance or what kind of advice can you get to those guys?
Send a message to Memphis Beech. Go ask him every question. So I don't want to be too abrupt with it, but be humble. Seriously, I don't care that your uncle was in whatever unit back in whatever. I don't care. Just be humble and realize that there's so much to learn. Even the greats like Rob Latham and Ben Steger and all those other guys, they're still learning every day. They are in the top percentile of best shooters to ever walk the face of this earth, and they're still learning every day. So as long as you can bat away the mindset of enough and that complacency, you'll be just fine. Reach out to your local instructors, hit up Facebook gun groups and things like that. You're going to come into some bad information. I mean, that's with every environment. Like, there's just bad information no matter what. But you'll learn how to weed through all that and get the good stuff out of it. So trust yourself, be humble, and don't be scared to ask questions.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Where can folks find you if they want to train with you or if they want to ask you questions?
Yeah, so Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Let's see, Tyler Tharp on Facebook, and then Synergy Shooting Solutions on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram as well. Oh, and website. I keep forgetting I have a website. Synergyshooting.com. There's a contact page there. You can see on the homepage, you can see what classes I got coming up. There's some merch on there if you want a cool shirt or whatever. So, yeah, the typical social media outlets.
Right on, right on. Well, tell you what, Tyler, thanks so much for coming on. I really do appreciate you taking the time. I really
Always
do.
a pleasure.
Thanks, guys. Hey, leave a comment down below if you like this kind of content or if you have any questions for Tyler or for myself. Thanks again, guys. Welcome to Memphis.